If you've ever looked up how much money you should have saved, you've likely heard the standard advice: keep 3 to 6 months of expenses in cash. It sounds responsible, but applying that same range to a freelance graphic designer and a tenured nurse overlooks the specific risks each one actually faces. A single static number often fails to account for individual math. Depending on how you make a living, parking 6 months of cash in a bank account can result in thousands of dollars in lost growth, or, for some, leave you dangerously exposed. We all know the danger of having zero savings. When a sudden crisis hits, a smoking engine on the side of a highway at night, the financial stress manifests as an immediate physical panic. There is a less obvious danger on the other end of the spectrum. Hoarding cash out of financial anxiety creates an invisible cost, as inflation and missed market returns quietly drain your long-term wealth. Your ideal emergency fund number fluctuates based on 2 factors: the stability of your paycheck and the nature of your debt. The primary defensive job of an emergency fund is to prevent the accumulation of high-interest debt. It acts as a firewall between you and a 25% APR credit card balance when your car breaks down or a pipe bursts. But holding cash creates cash drag. This is the mathematical penalty you pay in lost opportunity cost by keeping your money in a savings account rather than investing it. Let's map these conflicting forces: risk of ruin on the vertical axis, cash drag on the horizontal. Holding too little cash leaves you one repair from financial ruin. Hoarding massive reserves lowers risk, but heavy cash drag weighs down your total net worth. Before calculating the middle ground, separate your current lifestyle expenses, like dining out and subscriptions, from your core expenses. Core expenses cover only bare-bones survival: housing, food, basic insurance, and transportation. Basing your target strictly on these core expenses allows you to define a specific safety net and stop hoarding extra cash out of generalized fear. This matrix breaks down your options into 3 tiers. Tier 1, the starter defense, consists of 1 month of core expenses, usually between $1,000 and $2,000. Getting here requires pausing all investments and extra debt payments to divert every available dollar towards this baseline. This creates a buffer that absorbs everyday annoyance emergencies, like a busted alternator, without triggering a credit card balance. The trade-off is a slight delay in your debt payoff timeline. This tier also provides no protection against a long-term job loss. Tier 1 serves as a short-term shock absorber, meant to keep minor inconveniences from turning into high-interest debt. Tier 2, the standard optimizer, targets 3 to 6 months of core expenses. Most people fund this level gradually over 6 to 12 months by putting surplus cash into a high-yield savings account. This provides the runway to navigate a standard job search or a short-term medical disability without touching your long-term investments. This level of security introduces moderate cash drag to your portfolio. Parking $20,000 in cash means you forfeit the compounding growth that money would earn if it run the market. Over years, inflation also erodes the purchasing power of this cash, meaning it buys less every year it sits idle. Tier 2 is a choice to purchase peace of mind by sacrificing a portion of your long-term wealth. The final level is Tier 3, the fortress, which targets 9 to 12 months of core expenses. Reaching this requires committing an entire year of savings just to maintain liquidity. This provides the runway to survive prolonged economic downturns without needing to sell your assets while the market is down. The trade-off is a high opportunity cost that slows down your wealth accumulation. When interest rates are low, holding this much cash is particularly costly, as the interest earned rarely keeps pace with inflation. The fortress carries the highest price tag in terms of lost growth. It makes sense only for those with highly volatile income or extreme risk profiles. You can map your specific situation to the correct tier using this decision tree. If you carry high-interest consumer debt, your financial emergency is already happening. You belong in Tier 1. Every dollar beyond that first month of expenses should be used to eliminate that toxic debt as quickly as possible. If you have a stable W-2 job, a dual-income household, or work in a high-demand field like nursing, Tier 2 is your target. For this group, saving beyond the 4-month mark is generally inefficient. Once you reach that threshold, your money is better served in an investment account. The final branch is for the risk mitigator: freelancers, commissioned salespeople, and single-income households. you likely need Tier 3. High income volatility requires accepting larger amounts of cash drag to ensure you can survive the inevitable dry spells. Think of an emergency fund as an insurance policy against chaos. You pay the premium for this insurance through the growth you give up by not investing those dollars. Pay the premium your specific lifestyle requires. But once you've secured that safety net, recognize that every additional dollar in cash is an expense, not an investment.